I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 million every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 billion every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 billion every week.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat, because not only I got a director up in the building, I got an actor and a musician, my boy CRANSTON and JABAAR. How you doing, King?
What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Love.
How you doing, man?
Yes,
Love,
sir.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming to the show today, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys came out to LA, had the premiere last night. Congratulations. You know, Agent X, if you guys don't know, is the new film they collaborated together.
Yeah.
You know, and so basically with this show, as I explained earlier, it's about getting insider information for those looking to be in your position. So you as a director, you as an actor and a musician, and collaborating together to put a project out and, you know, facilitating the deals along the way to get this opportunity to premiere to everyone. You know, I want to talk about how you guys even started together. You know, well, first of all, how'd you guys meet? Let's talk like that.
Oh man, you're talking about going way back. But we've kind of known each other from childhood, just kind of growing up.
Okay. And St.
St.
Pete.
Pete,
Yeah,
St. Pete, small
yeah,
town,
so-
St. Pete, Florida.
Okay. I know about the Berg.
Yeah, the
Berg.
Berg. Yes, sir.
Bird, yeah. And you know, and so I'm a couple years older than him.
Mhm.
So you know, of course, back then when you're a couple years older than somebody, they're like super young and you feel super old. And then as you get older, you realize how close you are.
Right.
But growing up, you know, I would see him as a little kid. You know, I was a little kid too. But we would just see each other in the neighborhood, and he would be with, you know, his crew of friends or whatever, and I'd be with my crew of friends. But we would always see each other. You know, just growing up, and then of course as you get older and things of that nature, you separate. But there was a spot, place in St. Pete called the Royal Theater, and the Royal Theater was Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And the Boys and Girls Club was this particular one was like an arts academy.
Yeah.
So it focused not on sports and recreation, but more on the arts
Music and
itself.
dance.
Yeah. And so so I was a volunteer there, volunteering to do performing arts with the performing arts program, and him and his crew would always come through and things of that nature. And so of course you see people from the neighborhood and things, so you're always like, what's up?
Yeah.
And one of the conversations we had, you know, he was talking about a movie that he had shot called Drops.
Okay.
And
Oh, I heard of that. That was you?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
heard of Drops.
Yeah.
I seen some of it, but I didn't see all of it. But I heard of Drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he was, you know, promoting that they had shot this movie and things of that nature. And at this stage, I was heavy on the theater side of acting. And so, you know, and I also was in the process of shooting my first feature film.
Okay.
And so with them having finished that, I was in the process of shooting that. We kind of connected there.
I think I was in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I
Okay.
told him.
So
I told
he
him-
was in your first film.
He wasn't in my.
second
He was in my second.
The
one.
second
Yeah,
one,
he was in
okay.
my second one. But my first feature, I told him that we were shooting it and that we're getting ready to, you know, once it's done, we're gonna show it in the movie theater. And he was like, you know, yo man, we're gonna do the same thing with Drops. And so I was like, okay, cool. And never revisited it after that. They did their thing with the Drops. It was a huge success. I did my thing, and my first premiere at the movie theater was a theater that was hard for them to get into in St. Pete.
Now hold on, before you could proceed, why was it impossible to get into that theater?
So St. Pete kind of segregated, and it was like on the affluent side of town, you know, and it was difficult, you know, for independents. It's difficult for any independent to get into the theater, but you know, it was absolutely impossible to get into that particular one.
Right.
You know, and Cran pulled it off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cran pulled it off.
All right. Now continue.
So in that, it kind of drew the attention. So him, a lot of his crew came through to the screening.
We heard that he had got it.
Yeah.
Man, we got to go see.
Absolutely.
We got to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cran had it laid out Nice. Yeah.
And so when they came and everything was over, we're doing the red carpet pictures and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
the interviews on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was fly. He did
Yeah. Felt like a movie star,
Yeah,
huh?
he did.
Yeah.
So with all of that, one of the things, you know, in the excitement of all of it, you know, he was like, "Yo, man, we got to work together, man. I'm on my film hustle, you know, all that good stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's collab. Let's make something happen." And you know, some years went by, and I ended up becoming the office manager and curator for our Black History Museum.
Awesome.
In St. Pete. And day one of me on the job, he's already in the building,
There you go.
filming stuff, right? I don't even know how he got in the door.
Right, wasn't the place closed?
Right, the place is closed. And I pull up, and
That's dedication right there, yeah.
I pull up, and I go into the door, and they're already inside, like, filming stuff. And so I see him with the camera and stuff, and then, you know, it just triggered me again that we had said that we was going to work together. And from there, a conversation started, and, you know, it just kind of came together from there. And we filmed our movie Art in the City, where I played a homeless war veteran. He had already, both Art in the City and Agent X were both his brainchilds.
Okay.
And I came in and I added the other elements to it. So we finished out the script together. We pieced it all together. We casted it. I mean, we just did all the necessary steps to get it into being ready to film. And then once we filmed it, you know, I had already had the relationship with the theater from my first time. And we just worked that in. Boom.
That's cool, man, and congrats on you guys actually like starting something and finishing it together. You know, a lot of people that get together usually, you know, break apart.
It's no down,
Right, you know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about that process when you guys, you know, he had the idea and then you had the finishing elements and you guys got together and basically trying to, it's only you two, but there's so many roles that need to be filled, like casting, directing, editing, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you guys decide delegate the task between you two? How you guys gonna fill those
I want to
voids?
say we just kind of naturally took to the roles that we both naturally are good at, and not trying to act and take his role, you know, versus, you know, and so ain't no conflicts. So we're not having those ego fights of I'm trying to do what he does best and he trying to do what I do best. We kind of like let the expert handle it. And we put in a little input. You know, I give him some input. Hey, man, maybe you need to do this, but I ain't going to tell you how to act. You know, you the actor. And I think that when you have partnerships, that be the conflict. When you have two heads bumping, trying to do one task that the other probably really should be doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just flourished. I mean, our cast grew, doubled. We doubled our cast. And the energy, when you add more people, you add more energy. So, and like I say, just letting people do what they naturally do best. And trying to let, you know, and let you be, you know, great in your role. And then that's what really got us to California. You know, our whole team, everybody couldn't make it, you know, but people still played their role, you know, even though they knew they wouldn't get on the plane with us. Their role still was being played, you know, all the way till we got here. You know, the whole route.
And that's really what creates dynasty championship teams when everybody, you know, is secure in their role. You know, they're okay being the person that they are, and they can lend support wherever else is needed. You know, I call it the Caribbean mindset. You know, as Caribbean, you know, that mindset is, you know, you got 15 jobs. You're gonna play whatever roles necessary to make sure that the job gets done.
Right.
And
the bills stay paid.
Yeah, and the bills stay paid, and nobody's losing. You know, and that family concept in the Caribbean family, everybody's working. You know, everybody's pitching in, and when you have people that are like-minded in that capacity, you can't help but win. You know, you can't help but be successful because, like, for me and him, we have a concept of not letting the ball drop. You know, so if like even with our films, there were times where he had a whole lot on his plate to where there were certain sections he couldn't edit. So because I know how to edit and I know how to do those things, boom, I took on that role. And I said, all right, give me this, let me blah blah blah, you know, and then we then pinged it back off of each other to make sure we were cool with the work, that it was where we wanted it to be together. You know, it wasn't all right, bro, this is it.
Right, that's
you
it.
know, and so we stayed, and checks and balances is the key too. You know, making sure that we're bouncing it off, and we're really good at making sure that we talk it out. You know, I mean, talk it all the way out. Because you know, like he said, I'm not perfect. You know, he realizes he's not perfect, but when we talk it out, we work it to a perfect place to where we can now move it forward to the next thing. And so that was really key and important as far as when it comes to this type of thing. So team players are important. Everybody understanding their role and being willing to pick up the pieces wherever and never let the ball drop.
Yeah, no, I agree, and definitely no one man should be above the crew, and everyone knows their role specifically and is playing that role to a T. You can't help but win. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, because egos could be it could deteriorate the whole plan. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that becomes a conflict early on when it's not even necessary.
Especially in this industry.
Yeah.
Because you need ego to even wake up in the morning in this industry. You know, you have to have a certain amount of
confidence
and balls.
You
feel me? To do the stuff we're doing. This is ambitious stuff. You know, we from the South, way on the other side of the United States.
Of the map.
You know, and we hear like, what up? You know, with our chest out. Like, hey, where's that?
Right.
And you know, and so you have to have that ego. You gotta have it, but you gotta know how to check it. And like, you know what? Let me sit it down. We're going into the meeting. Put the ego, leave the ego outside. We're going to eat lunch and talk about how to get it done. You know,
that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. Like I came out here I came from New York originally, but when I had the dream to come to LA, I was in Florida. I was in Tampa, and you know I drove out here. It took me 5 days, but I knew when I was coming to eat. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't coming back. You know what I'm saying? So. Trust me, I feel you. Like even when you said you get out here, like yo, where it's at, like you gotta out hustle the hustlers out here. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, bro, to a T, man. So how'd you come up with Agent X? Cause that was your brain, baby, right?
So Agent X, it really came about. It was a lot of talk about a black 007, and they weren't going to do it. You know, and I was like, well, why as filmmaker, why are we waiting for someone else to cast us as a secret agent? You know, let's build our own secret agent. You know, build our own story, our own franchise. Because Agent X is a franchise. You know, cartoons, comic books, graphic novels. You know, maybe even video games. You know, you never know where it ends. Was getting cast for an action figure. And we're gonna really.
I'm gonna be action with the kung fu
grip. And it's really like saying that, hey, we don't gotta wait for Hollywood to have positive black images. We can make the positive black images.
That's a fact.
And it's an independent. We don't have no big brother, you know, tapping in on our script. You know, we want it to end like this. It's gonna end like, you know, we're gonna end on top. You know, and we're gonna stay on top the whole movie. We're not gonna have, you know, those little glitches. You know, it'd be little glitches in the story. Like, why did they put that there? Where that come from?
Exactly.
Because somebody put it there.
Right.
You know, Big Brother reached in like, no, they gotta die. You know, y'all can have the most fun you want, but at the end, they gotta go down. You know, we're gonna ride off in the sunset. You know, that's my philosophy.
Right.
We're gonna write stories where we're gonna ride off in the sunset. You know, like when we did Drops, they rode off in the sunset. You know, that was intentional. You know, and it was intentional because we don't always have to be on the losing end.
Right. Yeah, I remember that whole Drop era, and it was I forgot what was the girl name that got caught in the newspaper. They did a BET thing about her too, and I was there.
I know
the girl
first lady.
First lady.
First lady. I can't think of her real name, but first lady was a.
It was you know, it was a crazy story, man, and it was I was around for that era, you know what I'm saying, and it was just seeing it happen was like, wow, like this shit is real, and just to see it go down, and to see it go down the way it went down, it was crazy. But that's cool that you made a movie about it because not too many people knew about that until you know they caught wind of it the way it went down. So
it really was a story written out of headlines. It was ripped from the headlines, and we based the script off of actual events. You know, people who were actually getting, you know, into trouble and were actually doing things. But it was a fantasy story, completely made up. You know, it wasn't. You know, we didn't try to take someone's life and get them in any trouble. So what we really did was just kind of made a fictional story based on reality. You know,
based on true events.
Based on true events.
Based on true events.
You know, and it was actually a success. First Lady and the crew actually were involved for a short time before they started getting in trouble, and they pulled back their support because they didn't want to get in trouble. And we told them straight up, thank y'all for all y'all help.
Yeah.
You know, we from across the bridge. We weren't in Tampa. Yeah. We were from St. Pete, but you know, they welcomed us. I gotta give First Lady and her crew a shout out. They welcomed us, brought us in. Yeah. Open arms. Yeah. You know, but they had started getting into trouble. So they was like, hey, can you cut my scene out? Can you cut my So you know, I'm the editor. Yeah. So I cut everybody's scenes out, you know, because we don't want y'all to get in no trouble around our project. Yeah. So in our project,
that could have got you in trouble too.
Exactly. So in our project, it's only actors and actresses. Yeah. No real figures are actually in the project. Right. And that was like a decision that was greatly made, but yeah, because that was a serious situation.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I just hope nobody's trying to do it now because they got the magnifying glass. They looking for that activity, you know. But
walk light, microscope.
Yeah, pretty much, walk light. Yeah. That's what's up, man. Okay. So so you got this deal with AMC where you can do screenings at every AMC in the US of A. That's in the world. Okay, so how did that deal come about, and what did you have to negotiate? Like, how was that conversation, like from A to now? Like, how did that happen?
I mean, it started back with when the being able to be in the theater was in the hands of the general manager, and you know, this is why I always say, you know, networking is key, because in this industry, in this business. Even in life, period, the you move up based off of the who you know, you know, because the who you know is who's vouching for you to that person that can put you in that position to do whatever it is you're trying to do. So that's pretty much a lot of the way that it happened for me was that at the time it was in the hands of the GM. I got to know the GM through actually a friend of mine who's actually working concessions at the movie theater. And they were a part of my music band at the time. And they was like, hey, you know, my boss, you know, is the boss of, you know, it wasn't AMC at the time. It was MovieCo. Yeah. So, you know, my boss is the GM of MovieCo where I work. And, you know, I can, you know, I know you're doing movies and stuff like that. You know, I can talk to them about maybe seeing if there is a chance to get it in the theater. And I was like, all right, well, cool. Yeah, hook me up, you know, and I was prepared. You know, I had a trailer ready. I had a press release ready. I had, you know, I was already thinking these things for when this opportunity came to, you know, have, because I know that's what they want to see. They want to see something that's already close to the standard of what's
being played
played already. So I knew that, you know, I had to at least match that. So I started studying the elements of what it takes to get that look, you know, so that when I present it, even though, I mean, I have all of that, it looks as though I have this big backing behind me. You know, it looks as though, you know,
it's that quality standard.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so with that, he got me the opportunity to talk to her. I talked to her. I showed her what I had. And so she was like, okay, you know, let me talk it over with a couple people. You came highly recommended from my associate. And, you know, and I like him, you know, so it pays to have the people that's vetting for you, that they have good reputations as well. Because, because people trust that, you know. So needless to say, through us being prepared, you know, for that opportunity, having all the right things in place to make them feel comfortable about a screening, we were able to screen in the theater. They didn't make me pay the rental fee because anybody can rent a theater. It's just a matter of how much they're gonna make you pay to be there.
Right.
You know, because if somebody really doesn't want you to be someplace, they're gonna jack the rate up sky high.
To where you can't.
Where you're like you can't, or you're
gonna
gonna really
do it.
right.
Yeah.
And so and that's part of what I was thinking was gonna happen. But based on the growth of the relationship, you know, talking and the commonalities that were there, you know, they came back and they said, all right, well, only thing we're gonna charge you is the general liability fee.
Okay.
You know,
that's insurance.
right? Pay the insurance, and you know, we'll let you screen, let you have the theater for 4 hours, and you know, and it just kind of went from there.
And this is in any AMC location.
Yeah,
this
was you know at the time. So from that relationship I built back then, as it changed, I made sure that I stayed in connection with whomever it was changing to. So when that GM left, I got to know the GM that was replacing them. And the GM that was leaving, I made sure that before that GM left, that I had something scheduled with them again, so that when they turned it over to the next GM, my name's already
being mentioned.
Right. It's already being mentioned.
Now, before you continue, not to interrupt, because that's a key thing right there, because you said you made sure that you were in connection with the person leaving and the person coming. Explain that process. Like, how are you making sure, like, did you have a schedule to hit him up? Okay, I'm going to hit him up once every 2 weeks. I'm going to say this, or, you know, I'll send a card. Like, how are you facilitating this communication?
So with that, I will pop into the theater. But I popped into the theater with the purpose. So the purpose was to set another date.
Okay.
And so that kept me in constant communication because I'm trying to get another date in the theater. So as I talked to this GM, you know, GM's like, well, you know what? I'm not going to be here much longer. In fact, I'm on my 2 weeks, and I'm going to be transferring to another theater in Seattle. But, you know, I will, you know, make sure that we keep this information and I pass it on to the next GM. All right, well, cool. Well, who's the next GM? His name is blah, blah, blah. And, you know, from there, it was like, okay, cool. So can I meet with him, you know, once he, you know, comes in, can you set up a meeting so that I can, you know, talk to him and let him know what we're going to be doing and give him the same information? Oh, sure. Not a problem. And so boom, they connect me with that person. So when that person comes in, I make sure day one that they're starting, that I come in and I make sure I introduce myself, you know, and I reference the last GM, you know, that was there and talk about the things that had happened, so to show that there was an already established relationship. And so with that, this GM now feels comfortable because you already know everything that's going on. So I was able to tell this new GM about the projection, you know, how the projection works, telling them what our setup's going to be, telling them what theater we were in the last time, you know. So showing familiarity with the location made the newer GM feel comfortable, like, okay, this guy knows what's going on, right? What he's doing. So I'm not coming fresh off the block trying to make something happen. It's like something. It's already in motion, right? It's already established. So I made them feel as if I was already in an in-house presence already, all the way down to the staff. I made sure that I connected with each of the people working, so that when I came in and I go to the ticket booth, like, hey, can you go get Kevin for me? You know, and they're like, oh, okay, hey, you're the guy with the movie. Yeah, I am. All right, cool, nice to meet you. So, you know, and even the people working the concessions, I made sure that I made contact with different people so they recognize who I am. So when I come into the theater, there's that commonality, you know, that familiarity, and they're not questioning anything. I can't tell you how many movies I've seen for free just because I walked in and they're like, hey, come on back. You know, cool. I mean, they're not even asking me, you know. And so, I mean, even to this day, I can still walk into our theater, and because I kept the relationships, you know, I can walk in. Well, now we can walk in, and, you know, nobody's questioning me, because, you know, when they stop you if you ain't got a ticket. You know, but now I can just walk right past them and nobody's trying to say, hey, do you got a ticket? You know, so, and that's a beautiful thing, you know, and I dare not take that for granted or try to take advantage of that, which is why I say I always go in with purpose. But with that, and I think that's key too, in everything that we are trying to do in the next steps, whomever you're going to talk to, wherever it is you're going, you always got to walk with purpose. I always have a date in mind to an event coming up, so that when I get asked about something, I have something to tell somebody as to what to expect, that's coming up, so that they now can get it in their minds, and they can tell somebody else, what's about to happen or what's coming up, in that regard. I don't know. It's just, this is a loaded question.
That's good. And then basically, you gave the answer flawlessly, because basically I wanted to get my audience in the mind frame to what facilitating a connection is for the greater goal. You see what I'm saying? Especially when, somebody who doesn't really, is not a people person, does great communication skill, don't know how to network, would have, been buckling up at the knees once they heard the GM was going to move to a different position. Like, damn, oh, what am I going to do?
There goes my opportunity.
Exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that, you took the high road and was like, you know what? Nah, this is an opportunity. This isn't an obstacle. Right. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good that you said that. This is an opportunity and not an obstacle. Not being afraid to embrace the challenge. Because a lot of people, they get so compartmentalized in their thinking that it's hard for them to see outside of the box, or even challenge themselves to begin to think outside the box, or figure out another way to make it happen. And that's one thing that I do like about our relationship, is that, whenever we are faced with the challenge, we already start thinking out of the box. What is some, automatically it's like, okay, boom, this is what we up against. All right, how do we get around it?
What? Like, what were some of the challenges you two together faced that you guys
overcame? One of the challenges is when our co-stars died during the screening.
What was his name?
Richard Stefani.
Yeah. So when Richard passed, we maybe had one or two extra clips. We really was told. We was like, hey, what to do? Yeah. I remember the call, like, hey man, Richard just died. What? We planning to shoot, and we pushed a couple of shootings back. Oh, hold on, we'll just do it next week. Oh well, put it off to the week after, and then we get the call. We're like, oh man, what we're gonna do? We're like,
he's a main
40. We're 45% through the project, so we got another 48% to do. 50% to do. And we're like, what to do? We just talking about, hey, we're going to kill the character off. What are we going to do? We really trying to
brainstorm.
Right. We really rolled our way out of there. I mean, it was a hurt to the team, because Richard was more than just a co-star. He was like intricate into everything we're doing, setting up meetings and, really using his white privilege. He was an elderly white man. Like really using his white privilege to help get us in the doors. Like, hey, I'm going to go, and then when we have a meeting, y'all walk in. Clearly, like,
so he was kicking the door down for you guys.
Clearly out to help us. Like what he fell in love with what we were doing. He seen it and respected the vision. Hey, yeah, we coming to Hollywood was on our list. Coming up here. But overcoming those obstacles and turning them into opportunities, really, that's why we're here. I mean, we really turned some obstacles into opportunities and made what we do it better because of it.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, and God rest his soul, man. I'm sure, you guys were close, and, even with that, like the fact that he passed away, it still didn't stop you guys. You know what I'm saying? Only made you stronger, because at the end of the day, the objective, nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Okay. So now what's next for Agent Next? Because you told me this was a franchise. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to do the cartoons. Well, I'll let y'all tell me. Tell me what's the plan for that, for the franchise? Like, where do you see the franchise going ultimately?
I mean, franchise, it's episodic. So, what we just screened here recently here in LA, or what we're touring, is the first part,
first episode
of the series. We're getting ready to film the next episode that's coming March 2020 to start to work on that. And, we'll start filming the second episode. And I mean, we're gonna continue it out, you know, as far as we can, you know. I mean, because we have the power and we have the growing interest in it. So now we'll be able to add in some other writing elements. Yes. Some other writers will be able to actually incorporate other people in on this, you know. And it's not just a franchise by the movie itself. Mm-hmm. It's a franchise by the network of people that we're going to be able to now connect to this work, you know, and build a franchise through that. Build a franchise of networking individuals to now make even bigger stories, better stories, and broaden the horizons of what we're doing, and give other people opportunities to actually be able to work within their passions, you know, as we get to work within our passion, you know, but along with the franchise of this Agent X movement is what I like to call it. We're working on a cartoon, like he said before, and you know that is episodic, you know, within itself.
I think that's gonna be big. Like after watching the screening yesterday and putting a cartoon to what I saw, like I think that would work better. You know, to be honest, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying. So we'll continue.
Yeah. So you know, so with that, it also allows us to be able to reach bigger audiences, because with the cartoon, you now can reach a younger demographic. And so, you know, young people outnumber older people. And so to have the live action, you know, movie and then have a cartoon version of the movie, you know, as well, with different, that spins off into even different elements that the movie, you know, it allows you to be able to reach a wider mass of people, period. And so, and then, you know, you break that down into the comic books, graphic novels, you break that down as to, you know, what Jabbar was saying about the action figures, which is really cool. The fact that I get to be, you know, because as a kid, you know, you playing with, you know, Transformers,
G.I. Joe,
you know, Spider-Man's, the whole, you know, you get to play with these,
9-year-old
right? And to know that, you know, you're going to be one like that, that's like a dream come true all within itself. And so, but, you know, and then to be honest, I don't think we have a cap on where this can go.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I really don't believe there is a cap. So as far as franchising, you know, is spread. It's a global thing, you know, just like these franchises of these restaurants and things of that nature, they're spread. And, you know, and in that, you know, each franchise kind of operates a little different. You know, they have the same rules, but you're now able to modify some things based on your demographic or where you are. Right. So what I'm saying with that is that as we spin off to these different layers of Agent X, and in this franchise, the cartoon is taking on a different, you know, lane, right? Yeah. The movie is taking on a different lane. The graphic novel is taking on a different lane. And so, and then who knows what else comes after that, you know, based on where the world goes and where technology goes, we can move Agent X with that and create a whole nother lane for another line of people to work that angle, you know, as far as a part of the franchise. And now Agent X is everywhere, like McDonald's, you know, like Burger King.
Have you thought about do you guys are opposed to like, not, I don't want to say selling it. Well, let's say for example selling it. Like if Paramount came and said, "Yo, we love the idea. We want to franchise it. We want to you know, buy the rights to it."
I mean, we got to really have some conversations, but I definitely think that you know, ownership is key, and you know, retaining ownership is going to be key in any discussion. To some degree, I mean, you know, within reason, but because this is about ownership. That's why we did it, you know. And I don't think completely selling out 100% is ever going to be really on the table. You know, we're going to have to, you know, you're not going to make $1 billion and only give me $1 million.
Not at all.
You know, that story is not going to happen. You know, we're gonna be tethered to this.
Yeah, we're gonna negotiate.
Yeah, we're gonna have some conversations. I mean, because that's not at the part. We definitely would entertain Paramount or any, real serious
Studio.
investor, and really you're serious, come on, because we have something that can be, funded, and we can make a bill, 2 bill, if the right people get behind it. So we'll definitely allow you to be compensated fairly. We're all about that. All our actors, we're all about fair compensation. So yeah, but that would be, a good goal, but it wouldn't be the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal would be ownership and really, having something for us by us.
It would just be the start.
Yes. And a lot of these studios, they're looking for that next big thing, the next Black Panther, the next whatever. Agent X is that.
Right. Well, I wish you guys much success, and like the conversation we had earlier, I'm definitely excited to be a part of it and help you guys, get it to where you want it to be, to push it to the next level. So, I'm excited for the journey, man. It's like they said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, man. We've been at this for like 20 plus years, you know what I'm saying? So, man. So, what advice can you give to up and coming filmmakers who just are really like the people back home in Florida? They see this on TV, what we doing out here. You know what I'm saying? To them, it's probably not even fathomable that it can happen to them. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of advice can you share to them, to, little Jabbaar, little Cranston, or little Johnny at home trying to get into the game?
Get to know people. Don't be afraid to open your mouth and tell people what it is that you do and what it is you're aspiring to do. That is my number one message to anybody. First thing I always say, open your mouth, tell people what you do, tell people what you aspire to do. And just from that right there, it has really helped catapult me, way ahead of where I thought I would ever be. Because there was a time where, I wouldn't tell people, what I do. Because I thought I was bragging. I thought that I wasn't worthy enough to even be speaking, in that capacity. So when someone said, "What you do?" I'd go and say, I work for a grocery store, versus saying, "What do you do?" I'm an actor, and I'm wanting to get into movies. I'm really trying to get into the industry to do more work. I want to be on television. I want to do commercials. I want to do, and when I started saying these things to people, then they'll say, well, what have you done? And then I'll say what I've done. And then they'll say, oh, well, you know what? My brother is the executive director for blah, 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 and I should introduce you to him, because you seem like somebody that he's looking for. And from there, you got like I was saying earlier, you got someone vetting for you to this person that's in this position that can help you.
That they trust.
Right. That they trust. So on their word, or you meet somebody's mom who son is, in the industry, and mom says, hey, I met this young man that I want you to talk to. Well, coming from mom, you're not going to be like, Mom, because it's mom, and mom, you're going to listen to mom. But you get what I'm saying in that regard. So honestly, networking is key. Opening your mouth, telling people what you aspire to do, what you're trying to do. You never know who you're talking to. And then the last thing that I would say is, continue to study your craft. Continue to, if you're trying to be an actor, then study being an actor. Look at more movies, look at more television, look at more commercials, just look at everything that's in line with what you're trying to do, and, and align yourself, in that regard. For me, like I was saying earlier about how I got into the movie theater the first time, it was because I was prepared. I did the research on how to get things to look like what I see on television. So, all the way to, and nobody, please don't do this because you might get in trouble, but all the way to when I did my first trailer, I knew that anytime I was in a movie theater, and I saw a trailer. It had that green, that said,
the agency is
right,
watching.
approved by the MPA,
yeah.
whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, that's what makes a trailer legitimate. If I don't see that in front of before this trailer plays, then I'm not going to take it as a real deal.
Right.
So
but there's a reason why that's there.
Right. And there's a reason why it's there, but I knew for the person who I'm showing this to, for them to respect the fact that this is a real film, you know,
they had to see
that they needed to see that. So I made sure that I found it. I ripped it off of YouTube. I put it in front of my trailer. And when I went and showed them, right, automatically it was, okay, wow. And so, and I mean, it really changed their perception on how they viewed my film, the project, versus them not seeing that in front of it, and it just going right into the movement of the footage. And so, I can almost guarantee you, had they not have seen that, it would have been like, okay, this is nice, versus, oh, wow, this is like it's really going to be a good movie. You know, because our mindset is just that. I mean, all the way down to, and I know I'm going on a tangent, but these are some realities that are out there,
brother.
To, you know, for a lot of us, you know, we're actors, and so when we tell somebody that we act, the first thing they say is, "Well, what have I seen you in?" Right? And we're on the independent side of it. So we've not been in a major motion picture that they would have seen on the screen, would have seen a preview for something that they can easily relate to.
With,
right. Then it's like, oh, you ain't no real actor. You still playing. You know, you still trying. Okay. I know not to take you for real, for real. I know not to get starstruck or really buy into the idea of following, you know, your journey because you still trying.
I mean, and I feel you on that. And honestly, I don't think that matters. You know, like as far as it shouldn't matter to you because your journey is going to continue with or without the support.
Right. Yeah. And so with that,
so don't let it discourage you. Is what I'm saying.
So definitely don't let it discourage you. But where I was going with that is that in the lines of what grabs people's attention. So I knew that people wanted to be able to attach you to something. So that was another reason why I had that green in front of that trailer. So when I tell somebody that I'm an actor and, you know, I'm on the independent side, when I say, well, let me show you my trailer. And then I show them the trailer, and the first thing they see is that green parental guidance, or
they've seen that before.
Right. They can identify with that. So they know, okay, this must be a legit movie because that green is in front of it. And so now they're looking at you, you know, a lot different. And now when you tell them it's getting ready to screen, it's going to be in the movie theater. I mean, that's really how I did a lot of my marketing and promo when I was meeting with people and just, you know, out in the streets and things of that nature. I was able to show them that trailer and then tell them it's going to be in the movie theater. Those are things that they can identify with. Making sure I had something in the newspaper. You know, something that people can identify with, because these are the main media, you know, getting a commercial to show on television, even if it's on, you know, public access or a local station, things of nature, things that people can relate to, getting an advertisement, even if it's on an AM station and not an FM station, you know, people easily relate to those things and take you more serious when you're on those platforms. So platforms are key, you know. So platforms are key for me in what helped me to be able to inspire people to pay more attention and be more interested in what it was that I had going on. And through that building interest, they were able to now see the talent that I had. They were able to see the quality of the work. They were able to see the drive, hustle, determination, all those things that they would not have seen if they were already put off by, you know, the things that wasn't making it real for them, you know. So like us being here in LA, you know, this is something people are now seeing this as, whoa, them boys ain't playing.
They ain't playing.
You know, this is real, you know. And so these are tangible things that really help inspire people. And people are looking for a source of inspiration. They're looking at us, you know, and following our journeys to say, okay, I'm this close to this guy. I've known this guy for like all this time. And, you know, I never thought that I would see him, you know, in this position. So now that I see him, I've always wanted to do it myself, you know, and now you're somebody that I can touch, you know, you're somebody that I can talk to. You're someone that I can get some information, some insight from. So that now makes me feel better about even attempting to pursue this, because I see you, you know, I see
made
what's
it
happening.
possible for me. Yeah.
So, igniting people's dreams, you know, into reality is really has been a part of the inspirational drive for me. And really, I could say for both of us, because in what we're doing now, that's really what it's been. It's been an ignition, an igniting of people's dreams into reality. I mean, the number of people that have come out the woodworks to me to say, "Hey, man, I want to write. You know, can you help me? You know, get better in what I do. You know, I want to be in movies, you know, even if it's an extra. Can you, you know, help me, you know, to even, I always wanted to have that experience, to know what it's like to be on set. Can you help me, you know, to have that experience and to be in a position to be able to provide that for people? You know, that's the most rewarding feeling, you know, that you can have, especially in this industry. I mean, look at what Tyler Perry's doing. You know, look at what he's done, you know, and how many careers he's helped catapult, how many dreams he's helped, you know, ignite into reality, you know. And I mean, to be honest with you, when you're living within your passion, you live a happier life.
That's a fact.
You know, I mean, look at you, you know, I mean, we've known each other for forever,
For a while,
you know, and for you to be out here in LA, I mean, you got us in a movie room, man. You know what I'm saying? We on camel colored couches and, you know, in a movie room on your show that's called Sleepers for Billionaires, you know, and that's huge, man.
Man, appreciate
you know?
it, man.
That is huge. And so, I mean, I'm just saying, and just in what you're doing, you know, you're helping to ignite someone's dream into reality, because they've seen where you come from, they see where you are now and what you're doing, and that you're not letting nothing stop you. And when people see that, you know, it creates a drive.
Right.
And so, you know,
light a fire in them.
yeah.
Right.
And so I know I belabored the question of the what you do, what to help you, tools to help.
It's perfect. Continue. You know?
But yeah, man. But I mean, I just really am passionate, you know, about networking. I can't say that enough. Getting to know people, building relationships. You ain't got to be best friends, you know. And a lot of people, they get stuck. Right.
That's it.
They get stuck on that. They get stuck on, you know, we got to be ace, boom, coon buddies. You know, we got to be down like 4 flats and no jack. And you can't be that with everybody.
Yeah, man. Especially people like of positions of power, because they ain't got that kind of time.
Right.
They ain't even best friends with their mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they acquaintances with everybody. They know everybody know them. And they talk to them when they need to talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because it's about the work. It's about, you know, progressing to that next level of where you're trying to go. And, you know, and it's nothing to create hard feelings, or it's nothing to be negative. But, you know, when you have a grind and you're trying to get somewhere, you know, it's about increasing, boosting your quality of life, you know, and that's what I think everybody's goal is to boost their quality of life, which is why we go to work every day,
right?
You know, which is why we're not afraid to invest in our own, you know, work, even when we don't have other sponsors to help us do that. We're willing to work harder so that we have enough capital to put in so that we can get this work, because we know that we're trying to boost our quality of life. And I think in saying that segued me to another point. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself, you know, because no one has your drive or your passion.
Right.
No, because they don't know what it fully is for you. And so if you're not willing to fund your own dream and you're waiting on somebody else to just fund it, then you're gonna be sitting on that dream for a long time. Right. But when you're willing to invest and start taking steps towards your dream, your goal, what it is you're trying to do, all these things just start falling into place. You know, I mean, like us, I mean, we've been self-funded since we started. You know, we've been funding our own dreams since we started. And as people see us continuing to move forward, on our own, now we're able to attract
Mm-hmm.
other people to sponsor because they see that, all right, they already have these things in line.
Mm-hmm.
They have already proven that they can get into these places. So now that people are able to attach a track record to what we're doing, it makes them feel more comfortable now to sponsor.
Right.
It makes them feel more comfortable to now invest,
Mm-hmm.
because we now have built a portfolio or a resume of work that shows that we know what we're doing.
Right.
And so I really think that is key, that you not be afraid and be willing. Matter of fact, you have to invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
First, you have to be willing to invest in yourself first in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
As an independent artist, you have to be. I mean, I was trying to be nice about it, but yeah, there's no way around it.
Yeah, you have to, bro.
You have to be willing. If you're not willing, then
nobody else will.
Right.
I want to say this: teamwork and having a team.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the keys to anyone who has succeeded in life is the team and the people you have around you. Like Cran was saying, we attracted people to us, and those people became crucial allies and crucial pieces in our puzzle. It's only me and him sitting here right now, but it's maybe another 12, 13 people, 14 people who carried us here, whose backs we're standing on. And I want to shout all them out. Because
shout out to the whole team.
The whole team, cast, crew. It's too many people just to name off the top of my head, and I don't want to leave nobody out. But, from sending emails to sending Facebook posts to whatever they're doing, contributing to helping us get where we're going. And in return, we got to keep and look out for them, because I haven't seen a one-man success show.
Yeah, no.
Even when it's a solo artist, it's still 20 people.
That's a fact.
It's still 20 people behind it. Even if it's a one-man band, even when you see David Chappelle on stage by himself, it's another 20, 30 people
right behind
him making that show go flawless.
Kevin Hart, any person, any celebrity. I mean, Jay-Z, Beyonce. You name any iconic figure. There's a ton of people behind them that's making it possible for them to be who they are. And as you grow in this industry, it's a lot of work. People don't understand just how much tireless work goes into tedious work. Because all your I's got to be dotted, T's got to be crossed, and you as one individual don't have time to do it all. So you got to have somebody on your side that's going to help cross that T for you, that's going to help dot that I, and I mean, he's absolutely 100% correct. Teamwork
makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes it, yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, I wish you guys much success. Pray for it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to being a part of it. Let the people know where they can follow you guys and keep up with the new film and what other places you're gonna be screening, so they can come check it out.
Cool. First, agentxthemovie.com is where you can see more on Agent X itself. The website, it has everything.
Yes.
I mean, links to the IG, links to the Facebook, more information on the film itself. The trailer is there. It don't have little green in front of it, but the trailer
it will soon though.
Yes.
Next time.
Yes.
Next time.
Yes, it will soon. But everything's there. If you want to follow me on IG, I'm Amazing Cran, AMAZN Cran, CRAN. And that's pretty much everything. Facebook, IG. You at me at Amazing Cran. You'll find me. See my nice handsome face.
And you, what's your social media?
My social media is Shawty Soprano. Just follow me at Shawty Soprano on all social sites.
There we go. There it is, man. Well, thank you guys for coming through. It's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, man, thank you for the opportunity. And the opportunity yesterday to see a film,
man. Thank you for coming out, man. I appreciate that.
Man, you already know. I told you I got you, man. And before we go, man, you got any music dropping or what?
Yeah, got a new single out right now. The group that I'm with, Rain, we just dropped a new single, which is kind of like it's like a wedding ballad. You know, I also can go a gospel way as well. But it's called My Heart Belongs to You. We just dropped that.
Is it on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere?
It's on everything. So My Heart Belongs to You, Rain, and we're working on some new music. We're working on the soundtrack for Agent X as well. So we definitely be talking about that. Yeah, so still in the music grind. You know, I mean, music is what got me in the door to acting. And, you know, I can't let that go. It truly is a part. So
yeah, same here, man. And I think that grind, since I've been in that mostly all my life before coming out here, I think that's what really toughened my skin to how do you say encounter all the obstacles that I'm facing today. Was going through that grind, because that grind is still going. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I needed to go through that process and grind and fearlessness to get to where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I ain't make it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't Denzel. I ain't Jay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sleeping for billionaires. You know. Thank you for watching and subscribe to the channel.
Sleepers for Billionaires.
And we out. Boom.